Folks, thank y'all for joining us today. We're back on my favorite place in the whole wide world, Santee Cooper. And if you like the striper fish, let me promise you, this is the segment for you. We're gonna have a lot of exciting action today. We just got here, we got 2 fish on. I'm not gonna slam him down, I don't wanna hurt him. We got 2 fish already on, and we just got here. I got my good buddy Leroy Suggs with me today. Y'all stay tuned, we'll be right back. Hold him up there for the camera, Captain Leroy. Santee Cooper striper. Was that your first cast?
Yes.
Got him on. Oh, he come on. And got another one. My gosh, I had one on. He came off. I cranked the reel and he came off. I'll be done. I had one on. I cranked the reel 2 more times, Captain Leroy. Boom, another one hit it. What we got here today is we've had a lot of rain. All right, it's December here in Santee Cooper country. Of course, we got on short sleeve shirts. One thing I love about South Carolina, you can't beat the weather. But anyway, we've had a lot of rainfall, which has made a lot of current through these lakes. Coming out of the canal, top of the canal, lower end of the diversion canal. And whenever you get that current that coincides with 63, 64 degree water temperature, these stripers will go on a little bit of a false spawn. I don't think they really go up and lay eggs, but they think they're going to. That current and that water temperature just triggers their instinct to go spawn. But anyway, so this time of year when you have those conditions, you can come down here and find flowing water and absolutely have a ball with these rockfish. Got him on. I tell you what, I'm gonna share a little tip. This is the tip of the day. Whenever you're striper fishing, and somebody's got a striper on like Captain Leroy does right now, you can usually throw your bait right behind the fish that he has on and you'll catch one too, because when you have a fish on your line, there's normally 4 or 5 or 6 following that fish and eating everything that he's spitting up, okay? So if your buddy's got a fish on, throw yours right behind that fish and you'll usually hook one too. 9 times out of 10, you'll hook one too.
That's a good one now.
Is it? Do I need to spin you a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should have brought my other boat, but this is all right. I'm going to spin you around where you can see. How's it feel, Captain?
Feels good.
Oh, yeah, boy. He is large and in charge. He may make the trip home. Now, folks, one thing about these stripers, they've got to be 26 inches now in Santee Cooper to keep them. So the ones that you're going to throw back, you always want to make sure you handle them with proper care. That fish is, oh yeah, look at that. He's over 26 inches, isn't he? He's going to be put with some grits tonight. What you got, Leroy?
I don't know, he won't show himself.
Listen, I can't catch a fish for having to net fish for you now. What in the world? What in the deuce, Leroy? I'm tired of running this net for you now.
He wants to go home.
No, he won't go home with us. He'll go back. But, so what we do on these fish that we're going to release, we just want to pick him up by the head of that lure, finger in the mouth, thumb in the mouth, get that lure out, and you don't want to keep him in the boat. You especially don't want to let him fram down on the floor. He's dead when you drop him on the floor and stuff like that. and we just want to head first throw him on back. The water temperature right now is less than 60 degrees. Plenty of current in here, that fish would be fine. You hear people talking about, oh, I caught a bunch of stripers and I had them floating all around the boat and all that. That's nonsense. That's just somebody who's not handling them right. These fish cannot be out of the water long. You can't have 3 or 4 fish flopping around in the boat, and you gotta catch the one you got on the line, get that lure out of him. If you deep hook him, just cut the line, leave it in there, leave the hook in there, leave the lure in there. It'll rot out in just a little while, and throw him back in that water. The future of these lakes depends on catch and release. There was a South Carolina striped bass stakeholder committee formed that has done wonders in these lakes. These people, it's a lot of business people, really business people formed this association. But there's some nationally known biologists and things in there, and they changed around a lot of creel limits. They gave us a striper season, and I tell you, the changes have made a heck of an impact on these lakes. Now the lakes are so full of stripers again that it's pathetic. I mean, you talk about some fish. We got some fish in this lake again. So, and we're starting to catch some keeper fish. We really are. We just caught a 26-incher right then. And like I say, they got to be 26 inches, 3 fish per person. There's no summertime fishing, but I'm gonna tell you what, it has dramatically improved the striper population in the Santee Cooper Lakes, as you can tell. Captain Leroy and myself, we both guide for stripers here on Santee Cooper. Captain Leroy, you've been doing it what?
35.
35 years. 35 years. This man has caught some stripers in his time. And you've seen a lot of changes in those 35 years, hadn't you, Leroy?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the stripers about went away for a while, didn't they?
They went away and I went away.
They're back and you're back.
Yeah.
Well, boy, I love fishing with you. Let's catch some more. Whoa!
Oh, walk, Daddy, walk.
I love to see a man who knows how to set the hook. You put the iron to him, didn't you, Leroy?
Put the blue steel in his jaw.
All right, let me see if I can't do the same thing. He's going around the boat.
Yeah.
What you got?
Don't.
Lord have mercy. Let me do my job and get the net again.
I get it.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm honored getting fish that you got. Oh man, that's a pretty one. Not big enough to go home with us, but he is pretty. He is pretty. Now, Leroy, if people want to get in touch with you to go on a guided striper trip in the famous Santee Cooper Lakes, how do they get in touch with you?
Oh, 910-995-1168.
Okay.
1168.
All righty, let's catch some more. Captain, listen, you're making me look ridiculous, man. He's throwing white, I'm throwing chartreuse, but I'm about to go to white. Not unless it's the way you're holding your mouth. Which one is it?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Might be a combination.
Good fish?
No,
About the same size. Yep.
I think I can lift it.
Who's that lure? What we're doing today, we're using 1/4 and 1/2 ounce jig heads with, yours is a curl tail, isn't it, Leroy?
Yeah.
He's using a white curl tail. I'm using chartreuse curl tail. Where I come from, they call it yellow. But anyway, you can use big swim baits. Now, when we get down to the dam and we're fishing for those big fish that are eating those menhaden, we'll use big 9-inch swim baits and stuff to catch those big stripers.
Pretty boy.
But when they're feeding like this, they'll bite anything. Crank baits, swim baits, curl tail jigs, sassy shads. What else, Leroy? Rattle traps. Anything that looks like a fish, pretty much. Because they are chewing out here this morning. You put it in front of his face, he's gonna bite it.
You want another one?
He's got to have it. Give me a white one, doggone it. Give me a white one. Where you got those things? Thank you, sir. One thing about fishing is not a spectator sport. And I didn't come out here today to see you catch fish. Thank you. Hello, folks. My name is Kevin Davis. I'm the Santee Cooper sportsman. I tell you what, I love to fish. I love to fish Santee Cooper country. And I tell you why. Seems like something's always biting on Santee Cooper. Whether it be world record shellcracker, giant catfish, plentiful stripers, big brim and crappie. Seems like something, no matter what time of the year, something is biting on these lakes. Another thing I like about Santee Cooper, there's so many different fishing situations. You've got stumps, you've got drop-offs, you've got dense swamp, you've got underwater islands, you've got underwater river channels, creek channels, so many different fishy spots. I'll tell you another thing I like about Santee Cooper. There's so many great fish camps and campgrounds on Santee Cooper. Nice people run them, great food, great lodging, cabins, motel rooms, campgrounds. You got a lot of different lodging situations here on the lakes. What do I think about when I think of Santee Cooper country? The great friendly people, the super fishing, the beautiful undeveloped landscapes. These are the things that make Santee Cooper country my favorite place in the whole wide world. Leroy and I, we guide all the time. It's not very often that we actually get to come out here and catch some fish ourselves. Although we do enjoy seeing other people catch fish. In fact, we love it. We love it. Nothing thrills us like that. But just to come out here every now and then and fun fish is a treat. Wouldn't you say so?
Yes, sir. I love it.
My Lord, we done caught what, 10? And we just got here. Right now we're fishing current, but I'll tell you another fun fishing situation. There's a lot of menhaden in these lakes. Saltwater boys call them pogies, about that long. And in the fall, usually around Thanksgiving, when the water temperature starts cooling down, those menhaden want to get back to the Atlantic Ocean. And they will pile up down at the lower dam, and lower lake. They'll pile up down there by the gajillions, trying to get back in the ocean. And I believe every big catfish and striper in this lake follows them down there. They've got to happen. Talking about menhaden about that long. They're oily, bloody, and fish just love them. They're a staple in the fish's diet. And what we'll do, we'll go down there, live bait fish with herring or shad. And as you live bait fish with them, you can catch menhaden on treble hooks every now and then and put them down live too. But you talk about a ball of fun now, that is a load of fun fishing down there in those menhaden. And it'll last, usually it'll last all through the month of December. And last year it went all into January, you know it? So that's a lot of fun. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Hold on, Daddy.
Woo, that one's taking it for a ride, isn't it?
Just hold on.
Leroy, I am tired of this education you're giving me this morning.
You want me to get in the corner?
Put him in the boat. Good fish too, isn't it?
No, sir.
They're all good fish.
He wanted to go to the dam, but I got him. I believe I got him turned.
Okay. I'm so sorry. You know, it's funny. They travel by age classes. So you'll come out here one morning, and every single one will be 24 to 26 inches, and you'll come out the next morning, and they're all 20 to 23. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I believe everything's gonna be all right.
Oh yeah. Need net? Oh man, I should have netted him. I'm sorry, Leroy.
I believe I got him.
All right. Some fishing guide, I won't even net fish for the man. Ooh, that's a pretty one.
Oh,
I tell you
yeah.
what, God did good when He made the striped bass, didn't He?
Yes, sir.
And I thank Him for it. When it comes to throwing artificials for these striped bass in Santee Cooper, you can use a variety of lures. You got him, Leroy? Leroy's back there fishing. I love a curl-tailed plastic jig. That's a good bait. All of your Your storm baits, your little paddle tail fish swim baits work real good. Rattle traps, you can't beat a rattle trap. There's so many different color varieties and so many sizes of rattle traps, it's not even funny. This is a little half ounce, but now they'll bite the big 3/4 ounce rattle traps also. Excuse me, that's a 1/4 ounce. They'll bite the half ounce, they'll bite the 3/4 ounce. I've used 1 ounce rattle traps. The only thing I don't like about rattle traps are those treble hooks. They get in your hands when you're catching a lot of stripers, so you can take those off with a good pair of split ring pliers and just put J hooks on them, where you don't have to worry about that. You can handle your fish a lot better, a lot safer. Road runner, I love a road runner. This is a 1/4 ounce road runner with a little worm on it. That works really well. Different size jig heads, 3/4. Mainly on Santee Cooper, you want a 3/4 or a half ounce. Good size jig heads. Around the shallow water like this, like we're fishing today, you might go down to a 1/4. But now when those big menhaden get down at the dam and you're fishing in those menhaden, my favorite thing to fish with are really big swim baits. These are 6-inch swim baits, and I like to use up to a 9-inch swim bait because those big stripers will destroy these things. They gotta have them. Those menhaden are about that size, so the fish are looking for, they say match the hatch. The fish are looking for a bait about that size. Those big storm swim baits, and also the power bait swim baits, Berkeley power bait swim baits. These are 6-inch. You can get these in the 9-inch size too. I've got some in my other boat. But a variety of lures, plastic, hard baits. Santee Cooper is just matching the right lure to the right conditions. Today we got fish feeding in this current, this bait. We just got finished with some cool weather. These bait might be a little bit stunned. A morning like this, you throw anything to go bite it because they are actively feeding. My goodness, that looks good. Folks, thank y'all for joining us today. We had a wonderful time. We caught, what, Leroy? 35 stripers probably?
Every bit.
And kept just enough to make a nice meal. We're back here at Black's Camp, and this is my favorite part of the trip. Y'all join us the next time for the Santee Cooper Sportsman. Thank you.